don't you tell the world who you are and what you do?
Okay, my name is LawtonLife Prez. I'm the owner and operator of McNab Dogs, also known as Brickhouse Performance. And the reason it has two names is because McNab Dogs is basically me putting my last name on my dogs. You know what I'm saying? I like to put my last name on my dogs because I stand behind them and I stand behind my product. And, Brickhouse Performance is basically like my nutrition. It's how I work my dogs, how I get them in shape, everything like that.
I gotcha. So why don't you take me back to the beginning? Tell me how you got involved in dogs, what led you down the path you're on, why'd you choose what you choose? Just dive in a little bit. Give me some history.
Okay. I got involved with the dogs. Mainly, I think I've always had a love for animals, period. But growing up as a kid, I wasn't allowed to have a dog because my mom really hated dogs pretty much. So I always wanted one. You know, any of my friends who had a dog, I'd be spending time with their dog like it was my dog. But I had different kind of pets. Like I had fish aquariums. I've had lizards. I used to catch lizards, keep them. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And then once I became an adult and I got my first house, that was probably, I say I was around about 23-ish. Around about 23. I'm 32 now. I was gifted 5. It was a family of dogs. I got 5 of them from a friend of mine. And those dogs, I ended up, when he got his situation right, I gave those back, and I was in love with them. And then I started, but at that point in my life, I didn't know about bloodlines or pedigrees or anything like that. I just look at dogs and I would think they're nice dogs. You know what I'm saying? They were pit bulls as far as I know.
Right.
But like the knowledge that I have now, I know that there was no 100% way for me to know if I even had real pit bulls. So yeah, I went through a phase of those kind of dogs where they look like pit bulls. They could be pit bulls, but I'm not sure if they was pit bulls. And then I was doing a job, and I ran into a guy, and he had a pit bull. And I went up to him, and I asked him what kind of pit bull was it. I asked him, was it a red nose or a blue nose?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a real rookie question. You know what I'm saying? He laughed. And he said, "No, man, this red boy Jocko Bolio." And when he said that, you know, it blew my mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to know more. So he was telling me about it, and I went home and did some research. And yeah, man, ever since then, and that was probably about 3 years ago. It was about 3 years ago when I really learned about bloodlines and pedigrees, and I studied them, and I learned as much as I could about them before I got my hands on one. So about a year after that, about a year after I was introduced to them, I ended up getting my first 2. And my first 2, they were Kennel and Jewel. That's what I named them. Yeah, man. And ever since then, it's just been history. Those first 2 dogs that I bought, those were those are Niggerino on top, and then on the bottom side, they're Red Boy Jocko Bolio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. And how many do you have altogether now?
I only have 5 dogs. I have a small yard. Right. I got a small yard right now.
I prefer that myself. I'd rather big shout to these guys that can keep so many, and that, you know, they can keep up with it. But, you know, anything over like 4 or 5 would probably be too much for me. That's just my personal taste. Now walk me through your nutrition. You mentioned you're really like up on the nutrition of the dog. What do you do?
Okay, so for my nutrition, I won't give every secret I have, but I will say I do, as far as kibble, I use Value Pack. And I also do some raw. With my raw, I do raw chicken. I do vegetables. I always make sure I put beets in it because beets is good for the blood flow. And I put pumpkin in there for digestion. And, I switch it up sometimes. Sometimes I do fish, depending on what I'm trying to do or what I'm conditioning for. Like I'm about to get involved with like some treadmill races and things like that. So I'm probably going to do a lot of fish for whatever dog that I choose would be best for that competition. But like the history behind how I learned about nutrition, I'm just basically converting what I know for nutrition for a human into my knowledge. I turned it into my knowledge for dogs because I've always lived a healthy lifestyle pretty much. Like my mother, she is big on health. My grandmother big on health. Everybody in my family pretty much big on health. I've been an athlete pretty much all my growing up life. I ran track. I played football. I also box. So
nice.
I understand. Yes, sir. Yeah. So I understand nutrition a lot. And I just converted it to the dogs, and I look at the dogs. I see what I feel like they may need, what they may not need, and shape them how I need to shape them so that they can perform how I need them to. Yeah.
So you have five total right now.
Yes, sir.
Who would you say your star player out of the 5 is?
I say my star player is Kennel. He kind of stood out ever since he was young. He's the one I was telling you. He's a Niggerino on top with Red Boy Jocko Bolio on the bottom. But everything about him, it's almost like I can see every name that I named on his blood. I can see those traits. He acts like he thinks like a Bolio dog. He's very intelligent. He got the drive of a Red Boy Jocko dog, and then he's got the power of a Niggerino dog. And I feel like out of all my dogs, he's the one that exemplifies what I'm trying to put out there. He exemplifies, like he's flying colors, but not taking anything away from any of my other dogs. He just, everything he's done, everything is flying colors. Like he's won awards. He's won best of show at the Tom Garner pig picking. He won and he won that as a puppy. So he won best of show at 11 months. I believe. Wait, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Was he 11 months? Don't quote me on that, but he was a puppy. He was in best of puppy. Yeah, yep. He was 11 months because he was competing in 9 to 12 month division. He won first place in the 9 and 12 month division, and then that qualifies you to compete for best puppy, where you're going against all the puppies. And then he won best puppy, and then once you win best puppy, you get to be able to. That qualifies you to be able to compete for best of show, and he ended up winning that. And I knew he was special. But when he did that, I knew for a fact, it kind of confirmed it. I guess that's why they call it a confirmation show, Yep.
Man, I've never been to Tom Garner's annual pig picking, but I'm dying to go. It looks like a blast.
Yeah, it is. I believe it's probably one of the biggest in the nation. I haven't been to all of them, but I do look at a lot of content, and I look at the crowd. I look how many dogs you're competing against, and I feel like, well, out of all the shows I've been to in person, that's the most dogs I've ever competed against. So I'm most proud of that accomplishment because I feel like I beat the most dogs possible. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it was a great experience. It's a lot of people, a lot of vendors, and also he feeds everyone. He feeds everyone. The APDR shows, they feed everyone too. So, it's a great show, man. Like, I can't take nothing from it, man. It was a great experience. I plan on going back this summer.
Nice. Yeah. I hope to go this summer, if not the next summer. I mean, I gotta wait for my new little pup to develop a little bit.
Yeah, I like that pup too, man.
I appreciate that, man. She's a little psychopath, which I really, really dig that.
Yeah.
Lee knew exactly what he was putting into my hands.
Hey man.
But yeah, I saw the footage of that red male. That's Canelo, the one you had at the show, correct?
Yeah, at the South Bottom show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, that's Canelo. And that, even though a lot of people are impressed by how he looked right there, but in my opinion, that's the worst he's ever looked. And I have a reason. It's not an excuse. I feel like there's a difference in a reason and an excuse. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But he had more body fat on him than usual. You know what I'm saying? I would say.
Gotcha. No, you looked really impressive.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, speaking of South Bottom, I just realized after talking to you that I had him and my friends for a long time, and we're gonna do one tomorrow. I'm gonna have him on tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah, he's good people. He's good.
I'm trying
people. Mr. Carter.
He's trying to dive back in because summertime is here, and or well, not summertime, but it's going into the season here where I'm at in Myrtle Beach. So,
okay.
Yeah.
You in Myrtle? Yeah, Myrtle Beach. Yeah, man. I got family out in Florence, South Carolina, so that's not far. I used to go to Myrtle Beach all the time.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not what it used to be. I mean, in my opinion, this town has been ruined. Just like every other town, right now is just the dope. You know what I mean? It's just everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's out here leaning.
Yeah, man. So I stay sober, man. I don't drink. I smoke occasionally, but yeah, I put all my focus into the dogs. Like before I really got deep into the dogs, I did partake in some things, when I was younger, but man, I put forth, like, it's anytime I get intoxicated, I feel like that was time I could have been doing something with my dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Actually, just recently, I slowed down pretty much to a halt. Just really, just kind of over the whole drinking thing. Like, it's fun, when you're younger. Then when you get older, man, it just slows you down. It slows down progress. And like you said, it's a waste of time. Like, just because once I had a long time period where I drank heavily, and I noticed in that time period I barely got anything done. My productivity level was completely just drained.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, excuse me, as far as herb goes, I'm an advocate for weed. I think it should definitely be legal, but even that, for me personally, it's just like, after a while, it's just not even fun anymore. Yeah,
man, I haven't partaken in that in weeks.
Yeah, it's been about the same for me. Been about the same for me. Probably a month since the last time I smoked, and it's all right. But I was having a few drinks and smoked a bit. But even still, it's one of those things. Like you said earlier, my time could have been spent doing something better than that.
Exactly. You get stuck on the couch, and then also, for me, I get stuck on the couch, and then also it throws my whole schedule off, because I'm used to waking up. I like to wake up early. Mm-hmm. I run my own business. I don't work for anyone, so I have to. If I'm not performing how I'm supposed to perform, then things ain't getting done how they should be getting done. You know what I'm saying? When I noticed that my business was taking a hit for me not wanting to wake up on time and things like that, like I had a couple customers complain that I start working too late and things like that. Yeah. I'm not addicted, so it was just easy to just get rid of it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, it's also good that you saw that and nipped it in the bud right away. I mean, that's respectable.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, and honestly, the dogs are just a great outlet to keep us level-headed and out of shit.
That's my main thing with dogs too. Like, I don't know if you've seen my video that I posted when I was on the mountain. I was on a mountain. That mountain right there that I was on was called Arabian Mountain, and I was just speaking. And what I was saying, I really meant what I said. I see a lot of people have their dogs in shape, and I just feel like the man or the woman should match the dog as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you gotta be as thin as the dog or anything like that. But it would be nice to know that you're working out while your dog is working out instead of just making the dog do all the work and you don't look like you do any work, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's another reason why I had to slow down on everything because man, I put on way too much weight. So now I'm like as this new pup grows, I'm gonna have to get my shit together. It's like at the, what was it, end of 2023 going into 2024. I mean, I was at the gym 3 hours a night, 4 to 5 nights a week, and really just grinding. And then summertime came, started partying again, drinking, smoking a lot of herb, and yeah, I put back on so much weight, and I'm just like, all right, this is my motivation now.
Yeah, that's my same. So I've had a cycle like that where I'm in the gym. Like I was really pursuing boxing, professional boxing, like to the point where I was sparring. I was doing everything like that. With professionals with records, I was sparring those type of guys, and it'll be like I'll be into that, and then I had a moment where I was about to get signed to a promoter, but in boxing I started late, and I guess I looked younger than I really was, so he never really asked me how old I was. He already was putting things in motion, and then when he found out how old I was, he told me that his promoter, it's not even him. He believes in me, but his investors won't invest in anyone over a certain age, and that kind of messed me up. And then I gained some weight after that, and then now me working with my dogs, I got that weight pretty much back off, and man, I'm finna try to take it to the next level physically, the same way I'm finna do with the dogs. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait for the next show, man. I'm gonna really show out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm 36, so we're around the same age.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I realize, I was just saying this to my old lady last night, like, I think the reason we all bond so much as dog men is because we are really kind of reclusive when it comes to people anyway. Yeah. And the only people we get along with and understand are the people who only like to fuck with their dogs. It's kind of ironic. Yep. And I think that's why I'm so fascinated by the shows. I haven't been to a show yet. I've been messing with dogs a long time, just never, it's always been on my bucket list, just never have. And it's like, man, if I'm going to be around people, I would only want to be around those kind of people that are dead serious about their dogs and also, like-minded as well when it comes to dead serious about, setting goals and self-improvement and things like that. I don't want to.
I feel you on that.
I don't want to sit. I don't want to sit at the table with people who aren't making forward steps.
Yeah, man. I can definitely agree with that, man. Because when I was younger, I used to go to the club a lot. Like, I used to go to the club a lot. Like, but I kind of grew out of that. And the reason I go to so many confirmation shows is because that's literally like my fun, man. Like, it's like going to the club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. It's like going to the club. Like, I don't really go. Of course, I go because I want to win. You know what I'm saying? But if I win or not, I'm having a ball, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having a ball because at the end of the day, I don't own every bloodline. You see what I'm saying? I don't own every bloodline, but I'm a fan of every bloodline. Like, there's a dog of every bloodline that I'm a fan of. So when I go to the confirmation shows, my number one question is what is that? Like, how is that put together? You know what I'm saying? Have conversations like that. I get to see other bloodlines working and in person and get to see them for myself. Some that I don't own, bloodlines I don't own, and some that I may never own. But at the end of the day, I'm a fan of all of them. So, man, it's a ball, man. Like, especially like talking to the different people and seeing how they do their programs and and just seeing the love that they have for their dogs. You know what I'm saying? It kind of makes you feel it makes you feel at home, and it also feels like you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know about you, but you don't get that many I don't know how many people you are around on a daily basis that love dogs as much as you do, but me, I'm not around that many people on a daily basis that love dogs as much as I do. So when I want to, a lot of the times, all I want to talk about is dogs, and a lot of the people around me that ain't really trying to hear that.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally get it. If I'm, when I'm at work, I'm sitting here talking about, nothing but dogs. And they always got this look about him. They're like, man, either he's going to be talking about dogs or Jesus, one of the two. And either that or like old hip hop music, which I work with a lot of younger people, so they really ain't trying to hear that either. And so I totally get what you mean. And usually outside of work, I don't really surround myself with anybody. But I guess the bottom line is, like, the only people I would like to be around are the people that are at the shows. It's funny, I have more friends that are long distance that I never met face to face because of dogs.
Yeah, same here. Like, and that was the cool thing about the South Bottom show, man. I got to run into a lot of people that I know who they are. I know their YouTube channels. It's a guy named Samurai. Yeah. He got a dog named Saki.
Yeah, Andre is my...
I got to meet him in person, and he ranked me on the top APBTs of 2024. I was number 2. I was only person above me was Thompson Kennels, his dog named Sosa. So Thompson Kennels Sosa was number 1, and then McNabb's Kennel was number 2 in his opinion. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was cool to see him in real life. You know what I mean? I can agree with you, man. Like, when you get to go to one, man, you're gonna love it. But you're gonna get addicted to it, man. I put so many miles on my vehicle just going to these shows, man. I've been to 2 in North Carolina. I went to 1 in Georgia, but that wasn't an American Pit Bull Terrier show. That was an all breed show, and I probably won't go back to one of those. And the reason why is because they not. It says all breeds, but they're not as welcoming as they say they are for American Pit Bull Terriers. Because I think just like I know, like the stigma that's been put on these dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why. Yeah, man. So that's why I go all above and beyond to show the positive things being done with these breeds, with this breed, and I just got back from Louisiana. That's the show we were just talking about. So that's three different shows, and that's 3 different road trips. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and I'm willing to go anywhere. Like, I'm about to get my passport just to go. You ever heard of? I think it's an ADBA show, like in Poland or something like that. It's a real famous dog, man, on the internet that be going to those shows out there. I just want to go compete against them. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to the one in Canada. I think they got one, ADBA. And I want to compete at all of them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm addicted to it now. So
I feel that.
Whichever one you go to, I might be there too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was funny that you ran into Andre. You ran it, and it's funny. I just saw my boy Dakota at Elevated Kennels posted pictures with Andre as well. Andre from Samurai Kennels, his dogs Saki and Kamikaze. There was one other dog from another buddy of mine, but those were the first American Pit Bull Terriers we registered. Was Andre. And there was one that got registered before his 2, and that was owned by Steve Moore of Black Powder. But the only reason he was the first Pit Bull registered was because they were doing the Black Powder Terrier program that they're working on, which they took their Pit Bull Terrier to Patterdale.
Oh, okay.
So that was the reason that was the first Pit Bull registered. But the first set of Pit Bulls registered was Saki and Kamikaze. And then then Daniel at Throwback Kennels, and Dakota at Elevated Kennels, and then Derek at Devil's Den, all registered pit bull.
That's those Devils Den, the ones they have Old Family Red Nose.
Yeah, they got bullies, and they got a separate program that's more the Old Family Red Nose stuff. But they still fit the build, in my opinion, to be an American Pit Bull Terrier. They're not the huge guys or anything.
Okay.
And then also with the Battlebred family, I decided to take kind of a different turn on another topic as well. Like, you know how you have the working pit bulldog now?
Yeah.
I classify anything that's a bigger, like, weight pull type pit bull, or a working pit bulldog, or a like a working type Amstaff, or what people would call a UKC pit bull. I classify all four of those as American pit bulldogs.
Okay.
Just to kind of separate them, because they're more, I'd say they're more bulldog type as opposed to terrier type, like the game dogs, you know. So that's kind of where I'm separating the two. Kind of like the American Bulldog guys did back in the day. They just took the word pit out of it eventually.
Yeah.
So for the American Pit Bulldog, I'll also accept guys who have, say, a Pit Bull Scott Bulldog cross. You know what I mean? I'll still accept that, because it's still that same phenotype and they're still doing the same work. So I just really believe that the American Pit Bull Terrier, the game dog, should be left in a lane of its own, you know.
I wanted to, before we get too far off, I wanted to shout out Elevated Kennels too, because I've run into him in 2 different states at this point, man. So I got to salute him, because I respect him as a guy who's similar to myself. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to hop in that car and go wherever it is where there's something going on for the breed, and that's very respectable.
Yeah, I think I just saw him on your channel, I believe. You had footage of him. Yeah, Dakota and Daniel at Throwback are both good buddies of mine. They're really cool cats. They got a lot of dogs on the site. I registered a lot of their dogs. That Freemason bloodline is really good stuff.
Oh yeah. I saw he only brought one dog to the South Bottom show. He was taking Mason. That's the foundation of his stuff. He was taking it on a tour, but I don't want to talk too much. Like, just in case he wants to share it, you know what I mean. But I just wanted to say I salute him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I did get a chance to see pretty much his whole family of dogs at the pig picking. That was what really impressed me, that he brought all those dogs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Transported all those dogs to the show.
What do you have?
That just shows dedication. You know what I mean?
What do you have, like 5 or 6, right?
He might have had more than that.
Yeah.
I got to go back and look at the video. But he had a lot of dogs, man. I only had one, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, salute to him, man.
Yeah, he's really on it. I like what he's doing. Love it.
Yes, sir, man. But me personally, the bloodlines that I deal with is Nidgerino and Red Boy Jocko Bolio. And I also have a separate dog that's Red Boy Jocko. And but pretty much that's all I'm dealing with right now is those bloods right there, because that's the ones I was introduced to. Mm-hmm. And I did the most research on, and I fell in love with that. But also, like I said, I love to see all the lines, you know what I'm saying? Because like we talked about earlier, I keep a small yard, so I know that I'm not going to have all this. You know, I may never have a Jeep dog. I may never, you know what I'm saying? I may never have a Sorrel dog, you know, but I love them. I love them all, you know what I'm saying?
Now, is there one, well, I'll say it this way. Is there one kennel and or bloodline or a specific breeder that you would really want to work with as far as breeding, if you wanted to collaborate?
Yeah, there's one. His name is Garden State Terriers. Okay. He has a dog named, what's that dog's name? Whew, I want to tell you. Moonshine. Garden State Terrier Moonshine. Mm-hmm. He has a dog named Moonshine. I like a lot. I like their program. I like his production. I look at the offspring that he's producing, and it's like he's really capturing those traits from his foundation. He's doing it the right way. So I've never met him. I've never even spoke to him. I've messaged him, and we talked briefly in the messages, but I'm not in a position to do any business with him, so I don't like to talk people's head off. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I definitely that's the one that I would want to work with.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, walk me through a little bit of your day-to-day. Okay, I know each day must vary on some level because life happens, but what is your ideal day? You know, you wake up and do what with the dogs?
So I wake up and I feed. I flirt with them, and I do walks. But first I feed, but then I let them chill. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably work. If I don't have anything to do that day, I'll work probably from like around noon until whenever I'm done with each dog. And I got to clean up their areas and everything like that. And that's pretty much it. I just flirt with them, or like I use like rope or things like that, and I just let them work like that. I'll put them on a chain and let them run back and forth and drag the chain. I don't have any other equipment. Like, I don't have any treadmills or anything like that. Not saying that I won't ever have one, but since I don't have that many dogs, I haven't really made it a priority. But I'm definitely thinking about going ahead and getting one just to be able to take that conditioning to the next level, because at the end of the day, it's only so far I could walk. There's only so far I can run. You know, I can run miles. Yeah, I'm in shape, but I'm not a dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
they'll just go and go and go.
Yeah, man. So I'm thinking I might have to go ahead and get me one. So once I add that to the program, that'll be put into the mix. I'll probably work that in the evenings. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I just wake up, I feed, I clean up. While they're digesting, I usually clean up. And then once they, digested and things like that, I walk them each individually. The puppies, I play with them a lot. I hold them. You know what I'm saying? I also rotate my dogs on when they get to spend time inside the house. I always rotate. So one day it'll be Kennel, one day it'll be Jewel, one day it'll be Waka, one day it'll be Snowman, one day it'll be, it's just on and on. So that's how I pretty much do it. I just make sure they all feel loved equally. Even though Canelo's the all-star, I make sure I don't treat them special. Like, I treat them special. Like, sometimes I might slide them something, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I keep them all the same. You know what I'm saying? I try to treat them all the same.
Yeah, but your buddy is your buddy. So, I mean, like, I know he gets that extra little piece of steak fat here and there when you're cooking and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then, like, if I got a chicken pack, it'd be like an odd amount. You already know who getting the extra one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. So, moving forward, what are your plans as far as we'll keep it 2025. What are you looking at doing this year? What are some of your biggest goals?
One of my biggest goals, all right. So I did a breeding about it might be going on 2 weeks ago.
That was the one you sent me a picture of, yeah. Yeah,
that breeding that I did that with my buddy. He's down from Alabama. The name of his kennel is Billingsley Boys Kennels, BBK. He also has a YouTube channel. But he has an outstanding dog named Red Bull 3, and that dog is 3/4 Bolio on top with Red Boy Jocko on the bottom. And I took that to Jewel and her. She's Nidgerino on top, Red Boy Jocko Bolio on the bottom. So I'm expecting that to be some fire. I'm not 100% sure if she took yet, but I know that Red Bull 3 is very fertile, and I know that she's never had a litter. So I'm pretty sure she's pretty fertile too, and they both pretty young dogs. Like, his dog is 4 years old, Red Bull 3 is 4 years old, and Jewel is about to turn 2. So I feel like that's gonna be real good, and this is the first breeding I ever did in my life. So basically, I just want to go through this, and I want it to be as successful as possible. I want to make sure if the puppy is born, I want to make sure that it grows up. You know what I'm saying? I'm studying, looking at different ways that I'm supposed to deal with the puppies, and so that's one of my biggest goals is to learn. I'm learning hands-on about breeding, and once these puppies come, I'm gonna be nursing them and working with those, and that's one of my goals. And then my other goal, I want to win Best of Show again this year. You know, I would like to win Best of Show. I won Best of Show in 2024 one time, so I want to do it again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I want to stay consistent with that, and probably just put out as much positive content for the dogs. You know, and that's another reason that I respect what you're doing, because man, I watch your interviews for hours, man, just listening to different people tell their stories and talk about what they do. And I even listen to the interviews that aren't about pit bull terriers. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested in all the working dogs. You know, it seems like you pretty much do interviews with people who deal with working dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. So I just want to keep putting out content and see how far that can go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really been taking off. I didn't really plan on it doing what it's doing. Like on Facebook, I went 2 days ago. Well, okay, the day of the South Bottom show, I had 2,500 followers on Facebook. Now I'm over I'm over 6,600 today, and that was 2 days ago. Well, what's today? Tuesday. So Monday. In about 3 days, I went up. I tripled my following almost. You know what I'm saying?
Man, God is good.
Yeah, man. In that video that I was telling you, the video where I was telling you that, in my opinion, that was the worst Canelo ever looked. That video on Facebook has over almost 500,000 views.
Nice. Yeah, you're onto something. That's how it happened for my channel. It was just unexpected. You know, that the first few videos just kind of blew up, and it was just not expected at all. Next thing you know, it's just like, man, I might be onto something here. So I mean, and I tell people all the time, like, the more information we can put out collectively, the better. That it's just going to lead to better dogmen in the next generation. Because this past generation, you and I both know, was a mess.
Oh yeah.
But then again, I'm kind of forgiving about it because it was in its infancy, you know, when it came to the internet really taking over the dog game and this, that, and the third. And I think once we kind of weeded out, you know, the half-ass breeders, I think they're starting to fall away really quickly. The people who aren't really dedicated, they just thought it was a get-rich-quick scheme. Now I think the next step is for guys like me and you and Andre and all these people who are putting out content is to just double down, put out as much content as possible. That way the next generation of dogmen, all the information will be right there in front of them, and there will be no excuse to be a shitty dogman. It's like, all the information's right there. There's no way to lose now. Just produce good dogs.
Exactly, man. And I feel like everybody in any breeds, the reason I say breeds is because I'm talking working dogs, period. You know, I'm not just singling out the American Pit Bull Terrier, but the reason I feel like everybody who has these type of dogs already has a competitive nature. Mm-hmm. And nobody said it, but I think silently we're all in competition, even with the content, because I notice the more content I put out, or the more content other people put out, the more content I see come out. So, and that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? I like that other people are wanting to put their content out, because at the end of the day, it's all for the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you said, people can get educated, and everybody has different knowledge. So I encourage people to put out their content, put out high quality content, good information, talk about their bloodlines. Because me, I'm a person, I can't talk about every bloodline. You know what I'm saying? So you come to me, I'm gonna be talking about Nigerino. I'm gonna be talking about Red Boy, Jocko, and Bolio. That's pretty much it with me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And the nutrition and everything like that. The nutrition is universal. Like the nutrition that I speak about, or the fitness I talk about. That's universal. That can go across all the different bloodlines. But it's just a real healthy. I feel like the community is real healthy right now. You know what I'm saying? It's healthy. Everybody's doing their thing. There's a lot of different channels you can watch and get your fix. You can get your fix.
I don't even know if I'd consider it competitive. I think I would consider it more inspiring. Because, like, for example, you know, back when I was doing music heavily, you know, back when hip hop was good, and you know what I mean. But
yeah, I know what you mean.
Back then, like, if one of my guys, you know, I had a small group of people that were always in the studio with me, and man, if one of them just laid like the craziest 16 that I've ever heard come out of them, you know what I mean? It would make me want to go write another one. So I think I wouldn't say competitive, for just my view. I don't think competitive because, like, I don't think it could be called competition. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to be victorious. But I do think it's healthy. Maybe we call it healthy competition because, like, if I see, damn, this guy put out like 7 videos this week and I'm slacking, like, it will make me get off my ass and do some work. You know, it's like being around your buddies and, you know, they're all competing doing, you know, push-ups. You know, it's like I could do more, but then again, at the end of the day, you're all getting stronger collectively. So that's
basically what I mean. Like, healthy competition, that's probably a better word to put it. Yeah, because it's not like I know what you're trying to say. Like, it's not the kind of competition where it's like you want to beat the other person or anything like that. It's not about that.
Right.
It's just you know that you can do it too. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can do it too, man. You got a dog, just like whoever you watching has a dog, and get out there, get on camera and tell your story, man. Somebody might hear it and get inspired to do better with their yard. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know me personally, if I'm ever slacking on anything in my yard, all it takes is for me to watch a video and somebody talking about dogs. It's gonna make me get up. I'm gonna feel motivated. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. If I see somebody doing something that I know I should be doing, exactly. If I see a video and a video inspires me a little bit, I'll be like, all right, man, let me go play with the dog. Like, let me go do something. Like, I see exactly what you mean. But sometimes, I'll be honest, I'm a little hard on myself for it, but sometimes I do need to give myself a kick in the ass. Like, man, you know what you should be doing. All right, get your ass up and go. Yeah.
All right, so like me and Andre, when I was on his channel, I told him, because I knew he was going to the South Bottom show, I was like, hey, man, I'm coming. I'm going to be on your ass. And then he also said, like, man, I know LawtonLife Prez is going to be there, and I know he's a competitor, and that's making me work this much harder. And you know what I'm saying? And guess what? I was slacking, and he came out there, and I'm not sure everything that he won, but I believe he was more successful at the show than I was. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, you know what I mean? And I'm happy for him, you know what I mean? Because he's a good brother, and he's doing positive things with the dog, man. As we all can win, we all can move forward, and, you know, and it's all respect, it's all love, you know? So yes, healthy competition that's a better way to put it, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we was all shaking hands, laughing, all that, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about that, it's about the dogs. And at the end of the day, the dogs are the ones benefiting from this, you know what I'm saying? We're working them that much better, you know what I'm saying? I don't say harder, I say better, because working harder and better is not the same thing all the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I noticed, like, every new contact I get, every dog man I come across, there's always a tidbit more I'm learning with every single person I come across. Like, something about everybody educating everybody else in this game. There's something really golden about that. Every single interview on the channel, every single one, I've taken away something that I didn't know before, or a couple things I didn't know before. And I'm actually considering just going back through all the interviews and highlighting and making some kind of like PDF book or something, and highlighting everybody that I've done interviews with, you know, and the thank yous kind of thing. But just to have something to, I don't know, I might put it on the website for free download or something. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's I could see the game starting to become healthy again. I don't know, but we're a couple people, myself included, were jokingly referring to it as the COVID breeder era, where like everybody was getting dogs and thinking they were going to be a breeder, and then a couple years later they all just disappeared, fell off the map. And I'm so relieved that happened, because they swore up and down they were going to get a payout.
Yeah, man, it's not about that, man. See, like with me, I don't rush to breed. Like I said, this is my first time ever doing a breeding. I skipped their first heat. I skipped her first heat. A lot of people wouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I believe you're supposed to let your dog grow up. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at how my female looks from when her first heat came and to when her second heat came, it literally looks like she grew up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not money hungry. I'm not none of that, man. I really, really love these dogs, man. And I've spent a lot. I haven't made a penny. Yeah. I haven't made a penny, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't plan on stopping. You know what I'm saying? Even if she's not pregnant right now, I expect her to be pregnant now. But even if she's not pregnant now, that's not gonna stop me from going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna be at the confirmation show. I'm still gonna do this. I'm still gonna buy high quality food. I'm still gonna all that, man. That is not my how can I say it? That's not my
your main objective.
That's not my main objective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
You know what I'm saying? I respect those guys who operate like that. You can really tell that they love their animals. And I think time always would tell who's the real and who's not. Like you said about the COVID breeders, they disappear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to stay. I'm here to tell you, I'm going to be here as long as I'm healthy and able-bodied to be able to handle an American Pit Bull Terrier. I'm going to have one. I'm going to have a yard. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to keep my yard at a responsible size. I'm not saying, like, my yard right now is small, but I have a limit. I'm not at my limit yet, but I do have a limit. My limit is probably about 10 dogs. That'll be the most that I would want to handle. Especially on the property that I'm at now. I'm on about an acre, and I got a pretty good sized yard, so I got plenty of space. But I might not even reach 10. That's just what I have in my head. Like, that's where I'm at right now as of today. That's my maximum that I would ever have right now. You know what I'm saying? This property that I'm at, and you know, it's just. I just like dealing with dogs, man. I like their different personalities, and me, like, coming from sports. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get a workout buddy. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I got different workout buddies. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You know, I could make on that. I could make a few points. You know, to the listeners, especially people that are interested in getting involved in the game, and first and foremost is, you know, I was just going over my taxes today, and I spent a shit ton of money in 2024 on dogs and dog food and supplies and all these different things. It was a ridiculous number. That's number one. Number two, what I would say is, like, what you're doing and what I'm doing and what other guys are doing with a YouTube channel just goes to show that content is king. You know, they used to say cash is king. I say content is king, because content, as long as it stays posted, makes money forever.
Right.
And even if, you know, God forbid, you know, that litter doesn't take. Well, you're still pumping content, so you're still technically making money off of your animals. And then number 3, at the end of the day, for the guys who, you know, are hardwired to be, you know, a little more rambunctious, they want to go. The better thing for them would be, if I wish I had a property when I was younger, so I could have took advantage of having, you know, multiple dogs. Because if I did, I wouldn't have gotten nearly as much trouble. Now I look at it as I would much rather be in my yard than in prison or in the grave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The yard, having dogs and being involved in your dogs, put the money aside, fuck the money. It keeps you on the straight and narrow. You have to be home after work because you got dogs that depend on you. You have to be home to feed them. You can't be out there driving drunk because you might get pulled over, sent to jail, so now your dogs starve. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many reasons.
Yeah, you are 100% right. I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're good.
I just wanted to add this. Like, all right, so, you know, like your kids, right? Like, if something happens to you, their mother will watch them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your grandparent, their grandparents could probably take care of them, you know what I'm saying? But me, personally, if something happens to me, I don't know nobody finna take my dogs. Like I told you.
Yeah.
My mom is scared of dogs.
Mm. Yeah, no,
you see what I'm saying?
I seen exactly where you were going with that. The kids will always be taken care of, but if something happens to the dog, man, 9 out of 10, there ain't really going to be somebody there that can take care of the dogs, not let alone take care of the dogs, but how many people in this world could you actually trust?
Right.
Something happens, and then later on, you get locked up or something. You get out later on, you know, realize, oh, these 2 died, and I sold the other 2. You know,
and I don't play none of those games, man. Right. Like, I really don't, because the reason I don't play those games is because me. Like, I've heard a lot of, you know, I listen to a lot of interviews of different dog men from back in the day, and I respect them, and I like listening to their stories. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they always talking about the times when the laws were different.
Yeah.
Well, me, I'm not even old enough. I'm not even old enough to have those type of stories. You see what I'm telling you?
Right.
Like, it's a whole new generation when it comes to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have no stories for you.
Yep.
None. I have no stories. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, when people call me and ask stupid stuff or incriminating things like that, man, I just automatically hang up in their face, man, because like I said, I'm 32 years old. It's not a time where I could be doing shit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I have no old glory stories. I'm really speaking to the people who are interested in ever wanting to maybe get a puppy from me in the future or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Don't come at me with none of that. I'm a whole nother generation. I have nothing for you, you know? Mm-hmm. I love this breed. I love everything about it. I love the history. I love hearing about the history. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a lot of that is history. You know what I'm saying? So, and I respect it, and I know that it got us to where we are today.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's fascinating. Don't get me wrong. I think the old stories, and I've heard plenty that I've had to cut from certain interviews, and I won't say names, but I've heard plenty of those old stories, and it is fascinating. But I mean, to the people listening, if you're picking up what we're putting down, it's not even worth it these days. Right. Like, it's not even worth it. If you really want to test grit and toughness and all that stuff, hog hunting is completely legal. Go do that.
And I'm about to do that this summer, brother.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some stories. I don't know if we'll ever have hopefully maybe we have a part 2 sometime down the line, and I have more stories like that for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a guy down in Florida. He said, he hunts hogs all the time, and I'm thinking I'm gonna go down there and you know, learn about that, you know, because where I'm at, it's not really a big thing where I'm at, so I'm gonna have to go probably down to Florida. But like, I'm in Georgia. I don't know if I've said that yet, but I'm in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm close to Atlanta, and so
Yeah,
I'm from the South, but I'm not that country because I'm from Atlanta.
Right. No,
I'm from close to a big city, but I mean, it's still the South at the end of the day. I'm into a lot of that kind of stuff, like hunting and things like that. Like my grandfather, he used to hunt before he passed away. Rest in peace, my grandfather. We used to have a lot of fresh deer meat, things like that. He taught me how to go fishing, and I love the outdoors and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely have some hog hunting stories for you in the future.
Absolutely, I look forward to it, and we could most definitely do a part 2 and a part 3, and however many we could get in. I always try to do an update, like, you know, every so often to see, you know, how everybody's doing, and I'm going to want to know about, you know, and the listeners are going to want to know about that litter, whether it took, how it's doing, and
Yep.
But
and I plan on keeping probably 1 or 2 females out the litter, you know, just to I'm gonna keep those females so that I could breed them to my 2 males, Kennel and Walker, and basically create my family of dogs, my own strand of the Nidgerino line, my own strand of the Red Boy Jocko Bolio line, and then I want to also have my blend. My blend is the Nidgerino with the Red Boy Jocko Bolio, you know, so I'm gonna have those type of blends going on. So I'm definitely gonna keep a couple females.
So basically, you're trying to have 2 separate programs, a little more concentrated on both sides, and then blend the 2 for a 3rd program, basically.
Exactly, and the 3rd program is basically what I already have. So basically, all I'm doing, I took what I got. I looked at how it was put together. You know, I talked to the guy that I got my original 2 from, and I talked to him, seeing how he did things. I liked the results. I also talked to Sam Cates and well, I'm not sure if I spoke to him directly because I'm not sure if he even runs his social media. Mm-hmm. But I think it might be his daughter.
Okay.
But I talked to that program, and you know, Sam Case is the one who bred and owned Nidgerino in the first place, and then Mr. Townsend was one of his partners. You know, like if you think about Sam Case, you think about Townsend. I actually spoke to him directly, and they've told me that when you take the Nidgerino and breed it with yellow dogs, and when I'm talking about yellow, I'm talking about tant yellow. Mm-hmm. When that cross is just, it's been time after time, it's just been great. You know what I'm saying? So I'm basically just gonna keep that going in my own way. You know what I'm saying? Like different dogs. You know, and that's what I'm into. Those lines, and that's what I'm basically gonna be doing. Yep.
Nice. Well, yeah, man, it's been a pleasure, and I appreciate you jumping on, my friend. And we'll talk real soon. And
yes, sir, man. I appreciate you.
And hopefully we get this part 2 in real soon. I appreciate you sending all the images and videos through. It's great looking stuff, and this is going to be a banger. So I'll keep you posted on when I'm going to drop it. It'll be more than likely Friday, possibly.
Okay, I mean, I'll be looking forward to it. I'll be looking out for it. And shoot, man, I'm one of those people who like to hear myself talk because I like. So I'm gonna be watching it, and you know, just to review our conversation and things like that. And I like to listen to myself talk so that I know. I like to reassure what I've been saying. You know, I can motivate myself. Like, okay, I said this, so I have to do this. You see what I'm saying?
Sure. Not only that, like, I notice also too, that like a part 2 later on gives people a chance to refresh and go back, and like they'll say like, oh, in the first part when I said this, what I actually meant was, you know what I mean, and it gives people a chance to, like, you know, reboot. It keeps the fans up to date and everything. And also I noticed the first time around, you know, it's pretty much the conversation we just had now, but the second time around, now you feel like you know a person a little more, so then it becomes even more laid back, and then the conversation takes even more turns. So I definitely always look forward to a good part 2, and then possibly a part 3, 4, however many we could squeeze in. And I try to give everybody a chance to get as much content on the platform as possible. And before we get off, let everybody know where they can find you, all your platforms, your channel, and everything like that.
Okay, my YouTube channel is Casino Life Prez. That's casino, like where you go gamble, life as in life, and Prez as in short for president. That's Prez. And I'm pretty sure if you look that up, it'll come up everywhere. But if not, on Facebook, I'm SINO, which is short for casino, and my last name McNab. And on Instagram, I'm Brickhouse Performance. Just like it's spelled, just like I said it. Brickhouse Performance, man. That's where you can find me, man. Oh yeah, also TikTok. I'm Casino Life Prez.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you, if you had a TikTok. Well, shit,
yeah, my
man.
TikTok is that's very successful.
Nice. Well, shit, man. Let's link up soon. It's been a pleasure, brother.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good one.
You too. Peace.
All right.